You say, ooh, I wanna hurt somebody. You playing games. I feel so stupid. Can't look at you.
Come and see what all the hype is about. Tune in to The Hype 87.3.
That's right. It is your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live right here in ATL on The Hype 87.3. And today, I heard we got a superstar checking in.
You know.
A little something. Andre H., what's going on, family? How you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
I love the energy, love the vibes, all that good stuff.
Thank you.
Well, we definitely got a lot to talk about today, but before we dive in, give us a very brief introduction of what you want the world to know about you initially.
I am a singer-songwriter here based in Atlanta, Georgia. I sing from experience, heartbreak and all that good stuff. So, yeah.
All that relatable good stuff. Because we've all been through that.
Exactly.
More than once, some of us.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So, growing up in Brooklyn, New York,
Yes.
you're now based in Atlanta. What brought you out here to the A?
Well, it was cheaper.
Okay.
But definitely I wanted to dive more into music, and I knew Atlanta was a good scene to do so.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll take that transition.
Do you feel like with the style of music that you do, Atlanta has been more pivotal and helpful for you than Brooklyn was?
Yeah.
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 Because Brooklyn kind of like gritty when it comes to the music scene.
It's rough.
Yeah.
Right. And so my music's not that.
Right.
I'm not ashamed to say it. But yeah, my music is for people like who get in situations, heartbroken, stuff like that. So,
I love your kind of music.
Thank you.
It's my number one favorite kind of music. You really have a great sound about you.
Thank you.
You're like, I've always been a sucker for R&B music, people that can really sing, use their vocals. Don't get it twisted. I love my rappers and my trappers and all that too, so don't think I'm throwing shade. But there's just something about someone who can sing, boy, that just melts your heart.
Right. Absolutely.
Being from Brooklyn, though, out here in the A, do you pull influence from both cities when it comes to your music, or where are you pulling your influence from?
Listen, I pull influence from everywhere. Like, I'm just looking.
I got you.
You're not always going to be motivated to want to write and stuff like that. So you got to pull it from somewhere.
Right.
And so I'm just, I sit back and observe.
So you've been doing music professionally for over the last couple years now.
Right.
Prior to that, you were doing it, but wasn't really taking it serious yet?
Right. And also it's like I didn't have a story to tell
I got
when
you.
I first moved here. So I needed to live a little, get all that, And,
Right.
And finally, like once I lived life and kind of had my experiences, then I had something to write about. So
Understood.
It was easier. Yeah.
Got you. So that turning point was when you really started getting some experience and things to actually write about in your music.
Right.
So it is safe to say that you write. Do you put pen to pad? You put it on your phone? Like, what is that?
On my phone. Like, I take mental notes throughout the day.
Okay.
And
he got a good memory.
And sometimes I ride around the city and I like to just put beats on.
Yeah.
And whatever catches my ear, it just flows. And so I don't know, like it comes natural. I don't know.
It's something about being in that car that just gets the juices flowing,
Right.
the creative juices
Right.
flowing, right? I don't know what it is. It's just something. Do you also, like, when you record a song and you want to listen to it back, do you go to the car and listen to it to see how it comes through them speakers? Yeah.
As soon as I finish recording, he sends me the track and I immediately put it on my car. Yep.
I don't know
Gotta
this
hear it.
because you think about it. That's where most people listen to their music, because they're driving somewhere. They throw some music on, so you want to make sure it's hitting just right, coming through them speakers in the car.
Yep.
Who are some of your early musical influences that maybe show up in your work today? Because you were just not necessarily their sound, but just maybe their hustle and the way they delivered their music.
Definitely Usher. I listened to a lot of him growing up. Jagged Edge, Life Jennings.
You know about Jagged Edge?
Listen, my parents got us on that, And so I kind of want to keep that old feel alive, if you would.
Yes, please.
But yeah, those are my.
Please keep that old feel alive. Listen, I'm a OG. I came from an era where, like, 90s and early 2000s R&B was.
It was so good.
Man, we was making babies back then off of the music. Let me just say that, So definitely, absolutely. So each of them, what is it about them that just really like kind of touched your soul? And
their storytelling. I
okay.
think that's important in music. You know, I don't want to just say something just to say it and it don't make sense, or you listen back, you're like, what? No, I want it to make sense. I want it to, you know, tell a story. So
Got you. What is one of your favorite storytelling songs besides one of your own? Let's pay homage real quick.
Oh man.
Because maybe we can get you a collaboration with that artist. Ooh.
Hypothetically, from Life Jennings, I love that song. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Life. Now, I feel like we got to manifest anything that we want, throw it out there to the universe, 100%. So if your debut EP, Love, Sex, Heartbreak,
Yes.
was a letter to your past, what would your upcoming project, Sincerely Andre, say to your future?
Keep moving forward. You know, I tend to look back a lot, but it's like keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
You know, that's really it. Yeah.
Absolutely. The only time we should look back is to see how far we came.
Exactly.
Be like, oh man, I came that far. Okay,
Exactly.
good. I'm good. You know,
Exactly.
But I feel like that's where that human element kicks in. We all are guilty of looking back and saying, "Dang, shoulda, coulda, woulda."
Right. Right. And so I don't want to do that. You know. So.
Absolutely. So like R&B is shifting in sound, in message. We kind of spoke on that earlier on. Where do you see yourself within that evolution?
I honestly do my own sound. Like, you know, wherever I fit in, you know, let me live, you know, but I don't want to try to copy anybody or sound like anybody. I just want to do me and what feels good to me. So,
Yeah. I feel like that's the best way to be as an artist, no matter what genre you do, because you'll be the happiest.
right.
We can't please everybody,
That part,
nor should we try
That.
to.
you know, so I stay to myself. Like, I listen to a lot of music, but I don't try to pull inspiration from them.
Yes.
I try to get it from my day-to-day life.
Understood.
Yeah.
Are you interested in tapping into other genres of music?
I've thought about it.
Yeah.
Maybe pop. Ooh, I don't know.
Get your little Chris Brown dance popping, you
Right.
know?
But for the most part, I like where I'm at.
I got you. Listen, there's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that. You know, if you find a place that suits you, fits you, that's like your safe space per
Right,
se,
right.
stick with it. There's nothing
Right.
wrong with that.
Yeah.
Because I've often thought about venturing out, because I'm, of course, majority of the artists that I interview are hip hop and R&B.
Right.
And I've thought maybe I should start tapping into other genres, but this is like my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I don't know enough, I think, about country music to
Right,
want to sit down.
right.
I'd have to study the genre a little bit more, if that
It's
makes
good
sense.
music, but you know, this is not something that we listen to a day-to-day basis versus other
Correct.
genres, so.
Correct. Absolutely. 100%. If we had to zoom through your catalog and just kind of shuffle through it, what would be the first song that you would want someone to go listen to understand Andre H the best?
Definitely Second Chance. That was my first single.
Okay.
First song I put out. And it came from not my perspective, but my ex's perspective.
Got you.
Saying it to me. So, yeah.
That's kind of a twist. I like
Yeah.
that. You know, like you see, because you understood where they were coming from, but at the same time, you're like, let me put it into my music.
Right.
I love that. I love that. Was
definitely.
there ever a visual for that particular record?
No, I was talking about doing one, but we're still working on that.
Understood. Understood. So let's go back and talk a little bit more about your debut EP. It's called Love, Sex, and Heartbreak.
Yes.
First and foremost, the title, you know, like, I think we've all been through love, sex, and heartbreak.
Right.
What encouraged you or motivated you to name it that, first and foremost?
I feel like those are like the stages of being in a relationship.
Yeah.
Or at least like the foundation of it. You
Man,
know?
makes perfect sense.
And we all go through it. Is relatable. So like, why not?
Some people do the sex, the love, and then
You know.
they get it a little backwards, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it
wrong with
is,
it,
in no
you know.
particular order. Hopefully the heartbreak comes at the end.
Right.
Hopefully it never comes,
Hopefully
but if it
never
does,
comes.
it's at the end. Exactly. So it carries a lot of raw emotion for you.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. On that particular project, what's the most personal song?
Memories.
Memories. Okay. Break that one down for us.
It's basically talking about everything that we had, all the old times, the good times, and just going back and forth in my head about them, but I have to let it go, Yeah.
What would you say writing about those situations and putting it into your music has taught you about yourself, relationships, and how it has helped you move forward?
Man, like I'm learning a lot more about myself. I can sit down and take the time and, give me space, my time. And I'm in my head a lot, but it's not like that. I'm just going back through my day or whatever case. And that's how I, tend to just jot down notes and just start writing. But
is it like a healing for you, a therapy for you to be able to write this music and kind of pour all that emotion out rather than keeping it inside?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Because I don't talk to many people.
Understood.
And so I guess I talk to myself through my music.
Yeah. Listen.
So, yeah.
Oftentimes, that's the best thing to do.
My own self-therapy.
A listening ear can be a running mouth.
Right.
We got to be mindful of who we talk to because... You know how people are. I feel like you tell somebody something, they're going to at least tell one other person.
At least.
It's just whether it's like their significant other, their mom, their friend, like they got to run tell that.
Right.
It's rare that they're going to hold it completely to themselves. So you just have to tell people with understanding that it may get told to someone else.
Right.
We're all guilty of that.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's just life, definitely 100%.
Yeah.
What makes Sincerely Andre your most personal and intentional body of work so far?
So I'd say this is also a letter or journal entries, if you would.
Yeah.
About, I wouldn't say my current life, but my most current life and relationship. And at first I was writing this project about everybody else and their surroundings, what they had going on with their life. But life happened, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And so I had to pivot it back on to me. And now I'm retelling my story. But yeah.
And this one has not been released yet, correct? Okay, all right. That's what I thought, because I went to Apple Music looking for it. I'm like, okay, it must be unreleased. So I just want to make sure I was telling correct on that. How many tracks can we anticipate?
Ooh, I'm still recording it, but I'd say 11 or 12.
Okay.
So it's going to be a full album.
Nice. That is beautiful.
Any stuff to say,
Listen, get it off your chest.
Right.
Because mental health is real. Mental health is very, very real. And, I forget the guy's name. He's a famous rapper from back in the day, just took his life a couple days ago. And you don't know what people are going through.
You don't. So be kind, man, to everybody,
Yes. Look at the camera and say that. Please say it.
Yes, you have to be kind to everybody. Because you don't know what they're going through.
Man, that's just such that touches me because I say that all the time, and be kind to people. You don't know. They may come off of you being weird and it's not you personally. They're just, you don't know what they got going on in their life.
Right. So a lot of people are inconsiderate these days, and that's why I say to myself, I don't have time.
No. Absolutely. So, being that are you somewhat introverted, safe to say?
I am.
Yeah, me too.
I am.
I call myself a social introvert. I socialize because I have to, but trust me, my home is my peace of mind.
I like to stay home in my bed.
Me too. Yeah. I like taking naps, all that.
That's just...
So what are some of the things that you feel like you're doing to kind of break out of that a little bit to get yourself out there, but still staying comfortable?
Yeah. Well, more interviews like
this, kind of intimate stuff.
I think it was time for me to show my face, and I know I have a performance coming up the 31st of July for a showcase here.
Okay.
And that'll be my first performance.
Oh.
So I've been in rehearsal for it.
Good
I want it to be a good show,
Can you tell us where it's going to be, the exact date? Is that information on your Instagram?
So I'm waiting on the flyers and everything to come back. But once they come back, they'll find it on my Instagram.
Got you.
Yeah.
So you are in rehearsal, practicing, you're getting your stage presence. Are you a dancer?
Oh, no. That's not me.
Is he lying?
That's not me. I like to stand there and sing.
So the one piece of advice that I could offer to you, because I did artist showcases for almost 14 years. I retired from it last year, and I may do them every now and again, but I was doing them consistently for many, many years. The advice that I always offer artists, when you get there, work the room.
Yeah.
Move around and introduce yourself to as many people as possible, because it kind of is an icebreaker. That way, when you get on stage, the crowd is already a little bit familiar with you versus, dang, where's this dude been all night? I ain't seen him all night because you posted up in the corner. It makes the audience a little bit more comfortable with supporting you, and it makes you a little bit more comfortable performing in front of the audience. So that's just the biggest piece of advice. Walk around, hey, I'm Andre H. I'm performing tonight. Hope you enjoy my performance. It's short and sweet. Boom. Move on to the next one.
Yep.
Exactly. And then if you have, like any type of, like business cards with your QR code, hand them.
That was the plan.
Yeah, little things like that. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. So that would be my biggest piece of advice. So you blend like classic R&B with a modern twist. How do you kind of strike that balance between old school and today's sound and still make it to what people are going to want to listen to?
Right. So that's the thing. It's like I like the old sound, but a lot of people don't. But I also want to catch as many people's attention as I can. So it's just trying to find the right beat, honestly.
Yes.
And that's where it starts. And the writing just goes from there.
So you typically listen and find a beat, and then you're inspired by that as what I'm going to write about?
Right.
Who are some of the producers you've worked with as of lately?
So Meet Too Fi is the only producer that I've worked with.
Okay, dope.
From last project and this project. It's just he gets me.
Understood.
And if you find a producer like that, keep him.
Listen, I know if it's not broken, don't try to fix it, like they say.
Exactly.
Does he also do your audio engineering?
Yes.
So he does the mixing and everything? Man, that's dope.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially as a vocalist, it's difficult to find a good engineer.
Right. So that's why I say keep them.
Yes.
If you can find a good one, keep them.
Because shade, but no shade, but I'm going to throw a little shade. A lot of these producers now, they're just accustomed to mixing like trap rappers. And
so, yeah, that's the talk we had when I first started.
Yeah.
Basically, like, he wants to get more into R&B because everybody wants to be a rapper.
Yeah.
It's not a problem, but be a good one. You know what I'm saying? And so he was just like, I just want to do something different.
Do you feel like R&B is in a good space right now where we're at in 2025?
I think it is.
Yeah.
And it's growing. I think that rap is fading slowly. But yeah.
Yeah, because like example, Southern Soul in country is really kind of coming into that, a lot of hip hop artists, a lot of rappers are starting to do Southern Soul, country music because it feels good.
Yeah.
And I feel like for a long time we got away from that feel good kind of music. The world needs it right now. It's a crazy place out there.
It does. I don't get it, man.
So you've said that you want your music to feel like a letter to the listener.
Yes.
What kind of emotional response are you hoping to spark within people when they hear your music?
Like I said, of course I want it to be relatable, but anybody who's been going through such situation, hopefully they can look at the song and relate to it. Hopefully they can heal from it, if it does it for them.
Yeah.
But I'm just really telling my story and,
Have you had a moment yet where somebody listened to one of your songs and they're just like, man, I felt that, or it made them emotional? Do you have a defining moment like that?
Well, my producer, of course, before I release any of the tracks, I know Second Chance, my first song, he was just like, you got it. Like, you just have to keep going.
Yeah.
And so, he's really a push, for me to just keep,
Understood.
Yeah.
He's located here in Atlanta, so you go record with him as well.
Yes,
So he
yes.
records your music,
Everything.
produces your music.
Yeah.
So y'all are gonna get a plaque together.
Yeah, a couple of them.
Plaques on plaques on plaques. They on the way. We manifesting it.
Right.
That is dope. I love when a producer and an artist come together and you guys can create magic because that chemistry is there and
Right.
it can be difficult to find.
Right.
What do you feel like has been the most like tough or struggle that Andre H has endured as an artist in this music industry?
I definitely say like constantly having something to write about. Eventually I'm gonna run out of ideas.
Right.
So it's just like keep evolving, keep looking, keep growing. As an artist. So yeah, definitely that.
And doing it like on your terms, not like you
Right.
said, listening to other artists and like, oh, they wrote about this. Let me write a song about this.
Right.
I would imagine that is difficult. Like,
It is.
like
it
what?
is.
Well, I wrote about it all. What do I write about next?
Exactly. So I know I was stuck from my first project to this next one because I had no idea, what was next.
Yeah.
And I started looking everywhere, at other people, and that's when I started there. But like I said, life happens, and now I have to
I know that's right.
write about me again.
Do you feel like as a singer, it's a little more difficult to come up with ideas for music versus if you were like a rapper?
Oh yeah.
Because rappers be capping.
Oh, yeah.
Not all of them.
But no shade. No shade.
No
right?
shade. I say that too, but it's the truth. A lot of them be talking about stuff they've never done before, you
And
know?
just saying anything.
Yes. Just because it rhymes, or sometimes don't even rhyme.
Like I want it to make sense. Like what are we listening to? You
Right.
know? It's not for me.
So let me ask you this, because there are some really dope, and listen, no, like you said, no shade. There's some really dope lyricists out there. There's some dope rappers out there. If you had to collaborate with one, who would it be?
Oh man, rappers. I like 7 Deep.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a dope rapper. Yeah, I definitely would want to collab with him one day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, we might manifest that. Maybe it'll happen. Then a plaque will be on the wall. So, like, why is authenticity and emotional storytelling so important in R&B? Why do you feel like is it because you're singing?
I feel like, yeah, singing has a part to do with it, but at the same time, it's storytelling.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to get my point across.
Yeah.
And I know it's relatable. A lot of people go through the same thing, so I just write for everybody like that.
Absolutely. Do you feel like right now that we're in a stage with music where the vibe somewhat outweighs the vulnerability?
Yeah, that's why. Like, I don't mind putting the vulnerability part there.
Yeah.
Why not?
I think it's so important.
We're grown. We're human.
Listen, I know that's right.
So why not?
I talk about that often, especially with the young men or women that come in that do rap. A lot of them are afraid of being vulnerable in their music because maybe it'll make them soft or whatever. And I said, truth be told, that's what your listeners and your fans want. They want to know you like you're a real person.
That's it. So everybody wants to be hard these days. I don't get it. But, do you?
When you're not creating music and you got a little free time, me time, what else does Andre H enjoy doing?
Honestly, like, I'm a homebody.
Yeah.
I like to stay to myself, really.
Yeah.
I might scroll through social media here and there, but other than that, like, I don't really go out. I don't like the streets.
Listen, there ain't nothing out there. It's not safe out there.
At all.
People be so quick to get triggered about the smallest thing. I was just watching the news article this morning where Big Boy's uncle, a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago maybe, got shot and killed because of a road rage situation by an 18-year-old kid. He's a kid to me.
Kid.
I'm just like, because of road rage? Because maybe someone accidentally cut you off or didn't let you get over?
Right. So, these kids growing up,
They something else.
yeah, it's a lot. I feel for them, but they got to get it together, man.
Absolutely. I often tell myself, because my son is grown. I have, he's a grown man, and he's outstanding citizen. Thank God.
Yeah.
But if I had to rewind back to the age when, if I was the age I had him now, I don't know if I'd even want to bring kids into this world, sadly.
Yeah. And that's where I'm at. You know, my grandparents keep like asking me about it. You know, it's just like our time now is so different from how y'all grew up. So I don't like it.
I think the only way I do it is if I moved out the country to some foreign place, you know, like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Just truth be told, because the
super
U.S. ain't
rich.
it. And, and you got to have a ton of money.
You know, so I'm good right now. I'm good.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Like, my son got married in 2022, and they haven't had kids yet, and they're on the fence if they want to for the reasons we're talking about. And I told him, I said, look, of course I'd love to be a granny one day, but if not, I'm okay with that too. I got 2 grandpups. I'm cool with that. He's got
And I think that's where, you know, pets, they're our kids now, you know.
That is facts. And they give you the most unconditional loyal love.
Exactly. And they don't take a lot.
No.
You know, kids expensive.
Kids are expensive. They be sassing you. They be talking back. Like,
Right.
bruh, y'all be stressing us out.
Right.
So what other stories are you eager to tell through your music? I know you said you're always trying to come up with these new ideas. Any stories that you're eager to tell that you don't mind sharing?
It's just it's all my truth.
Yeah.
The love, the sex, the heartbreak. I'm still talking about those topics.
Understood.
You know, but in a deeper perspective of my life.
Understood.
So I just want people to relate to this project. Yeah.
What's one thing about Andre H that most people would be surprised to know that you don't mind sharing?
Listen, you know,
Come on, be a little vulnerable for a second.
I'm an open book. I'm honestly, you know, an open book. I'm shy if you can't tell, but that's just it. Just
I know I had to make him talk louder.
It comes with the personality.
Understood.
You know, but yeah, like I'm just to myself. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Understood.
Yeah.
What's been your proudest moment so far?
Just continuing, being consistent. I know it's hard, but I'm trying, you know.
No, you're not trying. You're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
What's keeping you consistent? Like, what is putting that fuel up under you to keep you consistent? Because it can be difficult sometimes.
Yeah, but I look at my family, you know, my siblings, my parents, my cousins, my nieces and nephews. I look at all of them and I'm just like, I do it for y'all. So I have to keep going, you know.
So your family is your why.
Oh, yeah.
What legacy are you working on leaving?
Just something that can be grown
Yes.
and continued, you know. I know I push everybody in my family to just find something and just be great at that and just keep building on it. So
Such a great piece of advice.
yeah.
I feel like whatever it is we do in life, career-wise, we have to enjoy it
Have to.
and be good at it. That's how people become successful. I don't think people become super successful doing something they absolutely despise doing every day.
And then, you know, we're in the age of social media, so anybody can see you.
That is
You
facts.
just have to be consistent with it. That's it.
Are you big on social media as far as like wanting to get on there, or are you doing it because you feel like you have to?
Yeah, I kind of do it because I feel like I have to. But I enjoy taking pictures. I enjoy posting. You know, I'm debating on like if I want to document this whole experience. So just to give people a different perspective of my life. So
I think you should.
okay.
I really do, and I'll explain why. I feel like if you don't document it, it didn't happen.
Right.
You can go and tell people all day long about the stuff that you did, but it's going to kind of go in one ear and out the other. They want to see it.
Right.
You know,
You're
like,
right. You're right.
so, because that's why I feel like over the years, documentaries have been so important and special. So, whenever you're in the studio, you got a phone,
Yeah.
even if you just
Yeah.
get a little footage on your phone, you know, they film in 4K.
Yeah.
That way you can just start stacking some content. That way when you decide to put your documentary together, you'll have that content ready
Yeah.
to go.
Okay.
Yeah, so y'all heard it right here. Andre H documentary coming
All
soon.
right. I like that.
So definitely, so if we could fast forward 5 years from now, where do we see Andre H musically and personally?
Hopefully still doing music. I want to, I don't know, I wouldn't say unrealistically, but hell, win a Grammy or something like that. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But I just want to be consistent with my music.
Listen, I feel like anything that you put your hard work and effort into, you can absolutely achieve it.
Right.
It's not unattainable.
Right.
And I feel like just off of the energy I'm getting from you, I feel like you are in the perfect position to do that because you got a humble spirit.
Thank you.
You've got good music.
Thank you.
You've got a good image.
Thank you.
All that is important. I say it all the time. Nobody wants to work with an a-hole. I don't care how much money's involved.
You know, it sometimes it's not worth it. You know,
protect your peace.
Exactly. So that's what I'm doing.
And I feel like God will oftentimes intervene
when need be.
Exactly. To protect your peace.
Exactly.
And when someone shows you who they are, believe them.
For real. The first time.
Sometimes not everybody's intended to come on your journey with you.
Right.
I'm learning that. Yeah, listen.
I'm learning that.
We have to set boundaries. I struggled with that for a long time.
You know, love sucks sometimes.
It really does. It does. Do you feel like you're in a good space right now, though, emotionally in your journey?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You look happy.
I'm happy.
I know that's right.
I'm happy.
We have to go through a healing phase. Everybody has to.
Yeah.
100%. So let's talk about Only One.
Yes.
It has a really emotional type pull to it. What's the real story behind this track?
So Only One is actually about my brother and his relationship.
Got you.
How that fell through.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like front and center, so I saw everything.
Right.
And so, yeah, that's like their story.
Yeah.
Almost.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I had another young lady here recently. She's a singer, and she wrote a song about her best friend and their significant other and what they've been through. So sometimes that's where you draw the inspiration from. Is there a visual for this one yet?
Not yet.
Okay, because I was looking too. I just, I was like, I want to. Okay, so
I don't have any videos out yet, but that's just another part of me stepping out and just, we
got to get you some visuals soon.
They're coming.
They're coming. They're on the way. What about like any mic drop performances and stuff? Have you done anything like that yet?
I have not, but they've reached out, so I'm looking into doing those also.
Because you did you do an interview with WeFam?
I did.
Oh, yeah. I did. I said I did. I didn't. He did. But that's dope though, that you're getting out there, taking it a step at a time.
That's it. So
absolutely. So let's get into the song and listen to it. Before we do, anybody that wants to follow you on your socials, where's the best place for them to keep up with you?
Instagram at Dre the Great. Yeah, Instagram.
And I wanted to just quickly give you your flowers. You're
Thank you.
When he reached out, you're very professional. You're responsive. All that stuff goes a long way when you're handling and conducting business. Because I get people. So you deserve your flowers.
Thank you.
Who cares about the other ones that don't know how to? You were really on point with it, so I want to make sure that you got your flowers behind that. Who do you want to give thanks to for just showing you love and supporting you?
Definitely my parents. They're a big part of why I keep doing this.
Yes.
I want to make it for everybody. I know it's not going to be for everybody, but just for the main ones. That's it.
Understood. Yeah. Absolutely. So we've got the record loaded up and ready to go. Okay. It's here in rotation with us on The Hype.
Yes.
Can we listen to it?
Oh, yeah.
Can we check it out?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and introduce it for us.
All right. My name is Andre H. This is my single, Only One.
All right. Y'all stay tuned for it.
You're locked in with Atlanta's hottest hip-hop station. The Hype 87.3.